You've been talking a lot about lobbyists and money in politics. This is the Boston Globe in August. In Obama's 8 years in the Illinois Senate from 1996 to 2004, almost two-thirds of the money he raised for his campaigns came from political action committees, corporate contributions, unions, according to Illinois Board of Elections records. He tapped financial service firms, real estate developers, healthcare providers, oil companies, many other corporate interests, the records show. You now talk about, well, I'm not taking any money from lobbyists. You do take money from state lobbyists. You took $1.5 million from federal lobbying, employees who work for federal lobbying firms. There seems to be a real inconsistency between the amount of money you raise and where it's coming from and your rhetoric.
Well, Tim, look, I have said repeatedly that money is the original sin in politics, and I am not sinless. I have raised money in order to bankroll my campaigns. But what I have been consistent about is fighting to reduce the influence of money in politics at every level of government. I am the only candidate in this race who has really pushed hard to reduce the influence of lobbyists. When I was in the state legislature, I passed the first campaign ethics reform legislation in 25 years. When I was in the United States Senate working with Russ Feingold, we passed the toughest ethics reform since Watergate, eliminating meals, eliminating gifts, eliminating the use of corporate jets by congressmen when they're given by lobbyists. So I've got this track record, and the way I'm conducting this campaign, I think, reflects that interest in reducing money in politics.
But it's all new. You did all this.
No. As I said, Tim, this interest, this support of public financing of campaigns, the support of changing the ethics rules, promoting robust disclosure when it comes to how campaigns are financed, those are all laws that I have written and I have passed. So my commitment extends beyond just not taking lobbyist money and taking PAC money. It's absolutely true that in the past there have been times where I received lobbyist and PAC money. But the interest in reducing money in politics is one that has been consistent and that I've consistently fought against. And that, I think, is the kind of track record of being willing to take on not only Republicans, but oftentimes taking on leaders in my own party who are resistant to change, that I think gives me credibility to say when I am president, I'm going to actually take this seriously and use my political capital.
But if you say you don't take federal lobbyist money, but you take state lobbyist money, or you take money from people who work for federal lobbying firms, or you take $2 million from people who work on Wall Street, or hundreds of thousands of dollars from people who work for pharmaceutical companies, isn't it just a word game?
Tim, I mean, this is the problem when you want to try to fix Washington, is if you take certain steps to improve the process, then people will say, well, it's not perfect. Well, of course it's not perfect. That's the problem with running for president right now, is you've got to raise millions of dollars in order to compete. We've got more small donors than every other candidate on the Democratic side combined. We have set out admittedly imperfect rules to try to reduce the influence of money in politics. But you are absolutely right. Most of the people that are writing $2,300 checks are wealthy people. And that's one of the problems with our political system. That's something that I am intent on changing, and I've got a track record of actually bringing about change that I believe nobody else has.